Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Alyssa Makak.
Welcome to 5 More Great Games. This is a series in which I'm just going through great games that didn't make my top 100, but should have made something. People should talk about them. I'm going to go till I get to 350. I don't know what numbers we're on. I'm not keeping track, but I want to say we're at 116 through 120. That sounds right. So these games are amazing and fantastic. And today, Melissa's going to tell me which of these she's played. I'm going to guess and see. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're involved with the Dice Tower.
Yeah, I'm on Board Game Breakfast, Smashing Buttons, and Slamming Cards. I also run Teach the Teach and Teach the Teach 101 on the Dice Tower. I used to write for Dice Tower News, actually, before I did any of that.
Oh, wow. That's a gig for sure.
Yeah, so that was fun, but I don't do that anymore. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do for Dice Tower.
Well, all I know here is that you've played at least one of these games, but I don't know which one or how many. I'm gonna take the very easy out here. I'm almost 100% sure it's not all 5. So let's get started here. Where are we at? Boom. We're taking a look first of all at Shobu. Now Shobu is not that old of a game. It came out 2019, and I almost passed it because that box cover is not the best-selling box cover, in my opinion. I mean, it shows the game, but
yeah.
This game looks a little like Go. It looks like things you've seen before. It's an abstract strategy game, but it is an excellent one in which you have 4 boards, and when you move a piece on one board, it moves a piece on the other board, and you're trying to push your opponent's stones off. It's really thinky and very back and forth, cutthroat game. And I can't imagine, this game has got no traction from what I can tell. So I'm going to say that you have not played this one.
Okay. You are wrong. I actually have played this one.
Really? So what did you think of it then?
It was pretty fun. I'm not huge on abstract strategy games, really, but this one was one of the more fun ones for me. I really liked it. I like the Zen feeling of it, and just that rope that's in the middle that serves no real purpose.
That's true. It really doesn't.
But I love that it's there anyway. So yeah, I don't know, and it's thinky, and you really have to think about what your opponent's going to do, what you're going to do. It's just a lot of fun. I won't play it all the time because, like I said, I'm not huge on abstract strategy, but this is one of the better ones for me.
And it looks like a classic game, right? It looks like a game that came out, 80 years ago or something. And it's new, and it feels, if folks like this, it's really, I like games where that have simple rules, and this has one of the most simple sets, but you're always double thinking because if I move a piece here, and I'm also moving a piece on the other board, so I always have to be careful, and you can never do anything on the board you're at. It's the board that matches your board. It's kind of a weird mix, but a really neat game. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm 0 for 1. Shobu. Let's jump now to Reef. Now, Reef is from Emerson Matsuuchi. This is from Next Move Games, where every game has 4 letters, or 4 digits, actually. And Reef is a game that's not nearly as popular as other games from Next Move, like Azul probably sells, I would say, maybe 100 times Reef. But this is a pretty simple game about collecting seaweed, or I'm sorry, not seaweed, reef pieces, and putting them on a board and then scoring based on these cards. But the piece that you place them on scores differently. Usually if a card lets me place 2 purple pieces on my board, then it probably scores for yellow and green. So you're always trying to figure out the correct order. Now this one's also fairly new. Oh, I'm second guessing myself now because I was so wrong with Shobu. I'll say no again. You haven't played this one.
0 for 2, Tom. I have played this one.
Alrighty. All right, well, what did you think of Reef?
I really like Reef. This is one that I thought I would not like, but I really like it, and I think that it got overshadowed by Azul. But I actually think that this is the better game, in my opinion.
Agree.
Yeah, it's super pretty. I love it. I think that it's a lot of fun. I love the card play, and just like the chunky feel of the pieces and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Now, someone here, Devin, says it would be better without the plastic pieces. I don't know. I like those plastic pieces.
Yeah.
They're chunky. They feel good to put on the board. This one has a nice back and forth feel. It also scales really well. It plays really nicely with 2.
That's true.
Yeah, this is. I like it. I think Emerson is one of the greatest designers that exists right now, and this one is just such a clean, wonderful system. Oh, 3 strikes and Mike DeLisio takes over? Nah. Alrighty. Well, let's see here. We're jumping into Yokohama. Yokohama from Tasty Minstrel Games and Okazu brand. This is essentially a worker placement game, or maybe worker movement game. You're moving your worker around in different spots, and you can see this is a little bit what a board would look like. And you are building areas, and you're picking up goods and trading them. It feels like a much more involved Istanbul. That's the way it feels to me. You get technologies. There's a lot going on in this one, but I don't know. It feels nice and crunchy in all the good ways. I feel like I have a lot of options, but you're also restricted in where you can move people. Yokohama. All right, so let's see. This one came out, I don't know why the date's going to matter, in 2016. So 5 years ago. No. Am I right?
No is your final answer?
No is my final answer.
You're right. I haven't played this one.
I should say good. What do you think about heavier worker placement games? Like, what do you think about Rosenberg games, like Agricola and things like that?
I really like heavier worker placement games, and I will say I've actually watched your review on this game, and you didn't convince me in the review to want this game, but I would love to see if you could convince me now if I would like this game.
Huh. Well, I think the thing about this game that I like is the variability. You're gonna every time you play, the board's gonna be set up in a different way. So you can see here, like there's a spot you'll go to buy technologies that give you special abilities. If there's technologies in a game, I'm automatically a little bit on board because I like being able to do cool things.
Me too.
And I like going to one spot and getting the goods and then going to another spot and selling them. So this works for me in that regard. It also plays really well with 2 players. I'm really happy with the 2-player version of this one. And if you can find the deluxeified version, it is so pretty also on top of that.
Yeah, because the game, it looks, I don't know, there's something boring looking about it, and I think that's what pushes me off from the game, at least the non-deluxeified version. I don't know about the deluxeified version.
It does look a little blocky, a little spreadsheet. I mean, when it's all together on the board, but I think when you just look at a little bit of it at a time, so all these boards by themselves is too much. But if you focus on one board, it looks better, and that's what you're focusing on while playing. Okay. I wouldn't push this too much, though. I don't know that everyone's going to like it, but it's a pretty good game. What's it ranked on Board Game Geek? Let me see here. I'm pretty sure it's pretty high.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 104. It's almost in the top 100.
Wow. I do like Istanbul, but yeah, I don't know. Even Istanbul, though, I have a hard time getting to the table. I never feel like playing it, but once I'm playing it, I'm enjoying myself. I feel like this would be another one of those.
Alrighty. Well, here we go. Game number 4. This is a system here. I didn't pick any particular game, and that's Dice Masters. Now, my personal favorite of this is Marvel Dice Masters or DC Dice Masters, and maybe even a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, since that's just more superheroes. But as you can see here in these pictures, there is Dungeons and Dragons. They came out last year with WWE. The year before that, there was Warhammer 40K. There was a Yu-Gi-Oh version of it. I didn't understand any of the stuff in that one. And I don't know that they mix tremendously well, but the superhero ones do. And I got to tell you, folks, if you want variety of a game, there's probably more than 1,000 different character cards at this point that you can pick from. And it feels like a mix between Warriors and Magic the Gathering. I like superheroes. I like Magic. To me, this is great. Now, this used to be in my top 10, I think, of all time. It's dropped a bit for me, but I still really like the game. So this is... When did Dice Masters come out? All right, so Dungeons and Dragons Dice Masters. Dice Masters, I think, came out like 6 years ago. This one's from 2015. So that's, it's 6 years ago. So I want to say Marvel came out a year before that, or 2014 or 2013. And it's really died down. You would almost have to go out of your way to get it right now. So I'm going to say you haven't played this, but you should.
Tom, you're wrong a lot.
You know why I'm wrong? Because I keep saying no. I don't have enough faith in your gaming, apparently.
You don't. I love Dice Masters so much. This is definitely in my top 100 for sure. I mostly stick to the superhero stuff, Marvel, DC. I would like to get TMNT stuff, but yeah, I know this one is one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite collectible card game, or I know this is like a collectible dice game, whatever. Even more so than like Magic, Keyforge, any of that. I like this one the best. It's the most fun for me. I personally like the booster box system better than what they have going on now with the campaign boxes. I don't know what your opinion is on that.
The campaign boxes really bother me because they'll give you 2 dice for someone who needs 3 or something like that. And I don't want to buy 2 boxes and then have an extra die. It just seems really weird. I like the booster packs for a couple reasons. One, they were $1 when they first came out.
Yes,
you had $1, you bought them, and you could instantly use it. You would only have 1 die, but who cares? You could still use it. You didn't have to sit there and say, well, I have to build a deck around this, or I can't use... It's not like Magic where sometimes you buy a Magic pack and you're like, well, I can't use any of these cards. You can always use the stuff in Dice Masters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would even get like the whole booster box pack, because some of those weren't too expensive, and you get a whole bunch of them, and you'd actually save money, because then it would be that each of the booster packs were less than $1 if you did it that way.
And it was an easy thing to trade away. They did a pretty good job at distribution. If you bought a big box, you didn't almost ever get duplicate rares. So, I mean, the epic rares are ridiculously difficult to get. And they had some balance issues, but for the most part, it's really fun. Yeah. I feel like they may have run it into the ground.
Possibly a little bit. But I still like it. I still really enjoy it. I'm not keen on the newer themes like Warhammer or WWE or any of that. I like the superhero stuff, and that's what I stick to.
I wonder if someone just asked if they're still making it. Jeremiah asked, and I don't know. I mean, I think so, but I haven't seen a new set for a while.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
You know what? COVID may have killed it too, because this is definitely a game that you really want to play against other people in a competitive setting.
That's true. Yeah. Yep.
All right, last game of the day, Stockpile. This is from Navu Games. It's actually their first game. They're probably now known for the Reckoners, their big giant game. But Stockpile is my favorite stock market game because you have some insider information and you are collecting shares of different companies, and it uses a really nice auction mechanism, and you know some of the cards that you're bidding for, but not all of them. You get them, then everybody can sell, and you're watching people when they sell, trying to think, do they know something I don't know? Now, I'm just tired of saying no, so I'm going to have to say yes, you played it, because at that point I would have no confidence.
Wrong again.
This is the worst I've ever done.
Yeah, no, I have not played this one. It is one that I've really wanted to, but it's kind of hard to get. It goes in and out of stock a lot.
In and out of Stockpile.
Yeah. So, but this is one that I've wanted for a while. I just haven't gotten my hands on it. But it seems like something I would really enjoy playing.
Well, I'll tell you this, and for folks watching, someone just said in the comments, Mr. Dreadful says he don't like stock market games. This is, I know people who don't like stock market games, but still like this one. Yeah. Because it's almost more of an auction game and outguessing your opponents than it is stock market. I don't know how else to explain it. And it's quick, it's easy, and it's just a really fun game.
Yeah. It's more about insider trading, from what I understand. You have the special abilities with all those iconic insider traders, or infamous ones, I guess. But yeah, this one seems cool. I feel like I could play this with my mom, who loves money and stuff, but it's simple enough.
I think she would like that description of her. My mom loves money.
Yeah.
All righty, well, I was 1 for 5. That's the worst I've ever done. Well, I could go 0 for 5, I suppose. All right, now it's your turn to guess. I asked the people on our YouTube channel to vote which of these was their favorite. What do you think it was?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. This one's tough. I don't think it's Shobu, and I don't think it's Dice Masters. I'm gonna go with. I feel like Reef went under the radar a little bit. I'm gonna go with Stockpile.
All righty, let's see. And the answer is actually Reef.
Wow, it is Reef. Okay, nice. It's nice to see that people do like Reef.
Yeah, well, it is ranked pretty highly. Like I said, I think it might have been a bigger hit even amongst people playing it if it wasn't for Azul, and also Century came out at the same time from Next Move. So Reef here you can see first place, and then surprisingly, I was surprised to see Yokohama as second.
Yeah.
I figured Shobu was not very well known. Abstract games have a hard time hitting it, and Dice Masters has a very small but very dedicated fan base. But it still beats Stockpile.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. I didn't realize, how much of a fan base Dice Masters had. I thought I was the only one in New York who played it. But
it does feel that way, right? When you play Dice Masters, you definitely have this thing of, am I the only one playing this game?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay, cool. So Reef won it. I'm glad to see that.
Alrighty, well that, folks, is 5 more great games. How can people find you if they want to see more of your stuff on the internet?
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at This Is Room 51. I also do YouTube and podcast content with my brother at Room 51. We also stream live on Twitch at Room 51 Live. So we play board games and everything.
Alrighty, folks, well, we try to keep these short, so we'll be back next week for another 5 great games. Come back in 45 minutes for Shoots and Marbles, the most exciting marble race there is on this channel. And catch a glimpse of our new Marvel racetrack. We're not racing on it today, but you'll have to see. I'm too excited about it. Thank you so much, Melissa, for coming on board and talking with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you, folks, for taking time out of your afternoon to watch us. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Melissa Makak.
Have fun going to the Reef.